Good evening from the newsroom. The news for this Tuesday, 20th of December. The Department of Environment and the police have today disposed of the 117 kilos of green turtle meat seized on board a local fishing vessel near Alphonse Island last month. The frozen and salted meat, which was being kept as evidence in this case, was burned in the incinerator at the Seychelles Hospital this morning in the presence of officials from both authorities, including the minister responsible for environment, Flavien Joubert. There were 3 suspects in this case, but only 2 have been charged with illegal possession of green turtle meat, the green turtle being a species which is protected by law. The suspects, who have been released on certain conditions, will reappear in court next month on the 23rd of January. The seizure is the biggest so far, and the senior conservation officer in the Department of Environment, Kevin Mumu, says this is a serious matter.
We're taking the matter very seriously because it is an offense to kill turtles. So yeah, we're taking the matter really seriously, and we're going to be following up on this case very closely because it's quite a lot of meat. On that magnitude, this is the first one we've encountered.
As of January next year, the volume of imported chicken should go down as imports will be limited to agreed quotas. The minister responsible for agriculture made the announcement after a meeting with chicken importers. There are about 15 chicken importers, and Minister Joubert said they support the decision to reduce imports to allow local poultry farmers to market and sell their products. In fact, the meeting with importers follows concern raised by local producers that there was a limited market for their products, an issue that the Cabinet has said should be addressed. The reduction in the volume of imported chicken is one of several measures being put in place to protect local farmers. The opening of the lobster fishing season for 2022-2023 has been postponed to January and will kick off as of the 15th of January up to the 14th of March. The Seychelles Fishing Authority, the SFA, is maintaining the usual 16 licenses for the season, which will also be shorter. 10 will be allocated to Mahe fishermen, 4 for Pralin fishermen, and 2 for La Digue. However, the SFA says that if all the licenses are not taken up, they will not be offered to other fishermen.
We've had reports from fishers that December is not a good period for fishing due to the bad weather. So we've taken this into consideration and we've decided to open the season in January instead of in December. From our survey that SFA has carried out in collaboration with the fishers, we found that this year there has been an increase in the abundance and biomass of large lobsters, so lobsters that are above the legal size limit. So for the moment, we consider the stock to be in a good condition, but we're limiting it to only 2 months because we have found that the abundance of smaller lobsters has reduced compared to the previous surveys. But since the fishery only targets the large lobsters, the small lobsters will have time to grow, to replenish the fishery.
The Ministry of Health is appealing for blood donations in the A and O blood groups. Lab technologist Maurice Saint-Julie says the blood bank stock is very critical as demand is on the increase.
The blood bank, we are in a crisis right now. We're in desperate need of A and O positive. So we did some adverts on the social media and also on the radio. We had different programs. On the radio, we had radio programs. We had posts on Instagram and Facebook to ask the donors to come forward. Because the message we want to give is instead of just giving blood, like give a Christmas gift. Because you can save lives when giving blood. So that's the main message we had. Currently in a crisis of A pos and O pos because most of the patients currently needing blood are patients that are O positive and A positive. The demand for blood for all the medical specialties, being surgical, theater, oncology, all types of medical specialties are still very high. Even though we are approaching this festive season, people are still quite sick. So please, people, come forward and donate blood for your friends and your family. Thank you.
A campaign has been launched to encourage shops to remain open until late past their usual opening hours. As support for the outlets, there are also several entertainment spots around town to attract crowds. The campaign has been organized by the Enterprise Seychelles Agency in collaboration with the Mayor's Office. The Minister for Investment, Entrepreneurship and Industry, Devika Vidot, says the aim of the campaign is to boost the Christmas spirit by creating a joyful environment for families during this festive season and allow shoppers to shop in a calm and relaxed manner.
We found that the opening hours of the shops are similar to office opening hours, which means that most of the time workers that are in the offices don't really have the time to do the shopping, or those that are that work outside of Victoria have predominantly only Saturdays for them to go in and to come to town to do their shopping. Therefore, we wanted to encourage the shops to remain open until a bit later, so that this would afford a little bit of extra time for families to join together, for parents to be able to shop for presents as a family. And to help with that, we've organized for entertainment to be held in some selected spots of Victoria. We will have choir performances, we'll have bands that will be entertaining, we'll have giveaways that some of our sponsors have donated. We will also have the presence of Santa Claus. Camion Hall grounds will be occupied by selected outlets, and so they will also be showcasing, displaying a number of activities for children to enjoy. And so we hope that this week is one, weather permitting of course, is one that is memorable.
2 new bins have been installed at Beauvallon along the promenade. The bins will be used for PET bottles and cans only. This is the beginning of a new system to separate waste collection. The aim is to ensure that more PET bottles and cans are collected and sent to redeem centres to be recycled.
By the beach at Beauvallon, 2 new bins have been placed. These bins are to be used for PET bottles and cans only, which will help the community to better manage waste and separate those that can be recycled from general waste. The bins were donated to the Land Waste Management Agency, LWMA, by a distributor called Apex this morning during a small ceremony. Flavien Joubert, Minister of Environment, explains how this donation will benefit the community's waste management.
And I think it's important that we start and we move forward with better waste collection in this country, because we know of the impact that waste can have on the resources and on tourism especially, which we all depend on. Of course, from the ministry side, we have to ensure that we have a system in the background that will take care of this type of waste. But we hope that with this program, we can actually start sensitizing our population to dispose of their waste separately, because there are separate facilities, and we have to make sure that our population understand why they have to dispose of their waste separately and what are the impacts of disposing their waste all together in a pile, because it ends up in a way that you cannot deal with it.
The General Manager of Apex, Eric Crutzen, explains why Apex felt this donation was necessary.
Trash is a major issue for our community, and it affects us all. We also see a lot of trash left behind by people who visit the beach. We believe that it's everyone's responsibility to help to keep our community clean and beautiful, and that means being mindful of our trash. This is just the beginning for us, and we hope to see more initiatives like this in the future, with more bins being placed in strategic locations to help people dispose of rubbish properly.
Apex has plans to donate more bins in the future. They encourage members of the public to use the bins efficiently and only for bottles and cans.
And with this, we come to the end of this news summary. Next on SBC is a local production, Nous l'Environnement. We'll be back at 8 with the news in Creole. Good evening.